All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is I, your host, Gifted Gamer 204, back at it again with another banger, bringing you the latest and greatest news within the gaming industry. And in today's video, we'll be going over three topics. But before we go ahead and do that, if you are new and you do like what you see here, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the like button as we keep on rolling, ladies and gentlemen, right into today's video. So I just put out a video not too long ago, right? So we just finished receiving some breaking news. I know you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail, right? So we got some breaking news, but we also have some updated information as it pertains to one of the topics that we did cover in the last video. So we'll be going over that as well, right? So thank y'all so much for being here. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with the main topic of today's video. So crossing over to CNN, all right? Here it is, people, right? Trump announces a 90-day pause on reciprocal tariffs with exception of China. Okay. So it says here, President Donald Trump announced a complete 3-month pause on all the reciprocal tariffs that went into effect at midnight, with the exception of China, a stunning reversal from a president who has insisted historically high tariffs were here to stay. But enormous tariffs will remain on China, the world's second largest economy. In fact, Trump said they will be increased to 125% from 104% after China announced additional retaliatory tariffs against the United States earlier Wednesday. Based on the lack of respect that China has shown to the world's markets, I am hereby raising the tariff charge to China by the United States of America to 125%, effective immediately. Ladies and gentlemen, Trump said in his social media post, at some point, hopefully in the near future, China will realize that the days of ripping off the USA and other countries is no longer sustainable or acceptable, he wrote. Wall Street breathed a sign of relief, however, that Trump was backing down on other extreme trade measures. Stocks rallied sharply on the news, even though the 10% universal tariff on all imports coming into the United States remained in effect. Trump, in a Truth Social post Wednesday, said he has authorized a 90-day pause and a substantially lowered reciprocal tariff during this period of 10%, also effective immediately. Shortly after the announcements, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the pause was part of his strategy all along, but he also said that Trump had great courage to stay the course until this moment. So CNN previously reported that Bessent traveled to Mar-a-Lago on Sunday to discuss the tariffs with Trump, encouraging him to focus on an end game of reaching new deals with a variety of countries. So, this is just going more into detail as far as everything is concerned, right? We don't really want to get into the politics, so we just wanted to bring you this news right here, right? So we're gonna cut it off here. So basically, there it is. This is the main topic of the video, and this is the what we needed to address here today, right? It's on pause, right? A 90-day pause. So that's 3 months, right? So the question reverts back to Nintendo. You know, recently Nintendo just finished saying that they canceled the pre-orders for both US and the most recent was Canada, which we reported on yesterday, right? So what does Nintendo do now that this came into effect immediately, right? So, you know, Nintendo has the power, the authority to just come right back today or tomorrow if they want to wait a day. They have the authority and the power to come back tomorrow and put everything back into place and say, okay, now that Trump put the pause for 90 days. We will go ahead and go as scheduled, right? Everything will go on pre-sale. Well, obviously they will have to change the date, right? Because today is the 9th, and today was, I should say, the official pre-order release date, right? So they're gonna have to change that to sometime next week if they decide to come out and actually go ahead and do that, right? But it's up to Nintendo now. Now we wait on them. Um, Now there's no excuse as to if they were to come back and somehow they have, raised the price of the Nintendo Switch 2 from 449 to something else, they would have some explaining to do, right? Because Trump announces a 90-day pause. So, therefore, you know, um, they shouldn't have an excuse as to why they raised the price. So, um, hopefully we get some exciting news coming out of the Nintendo campaign saying that we're back on track and things like that. The prices remain the same until further notice. So that's gonna make the Nintendo Switch 2 a hot commodity, right? Due to the fact that it's a 90 days, so everybody's gonna try to get their hands on it before the 90 days are up, and then we'll take it from there. But this will kind of play into like a little marketing scheme for Nintendo if they were to actually do this, right? Because now it becomes almost like a limited edition type of deal because everybody will try to get it before the 90 days are up. So, this is something that Nintendo can play off of as well, right? If they do it the smart way and leave the price as is, right? So let's see what happens. But the question I have for you now, right? This is it right here. So we see this 90-day pause. Let's say Nintendo comes back, sets a new day for pre-orders. Prices remain the same, right? 449 and 499 for the Mario Kart bundle. The question now comes back to you, the customer. Will you be back on track and excited and to purchase a Nintendo Switch 2, day one and go ahead and pre-order it, right? So that's the question I have for everybody out there. So let me know in the comment sections down below what you think about this. How do you feel? And will you be pre-ordering if Nintendo comes out and, does what makes another announcement and things like that, right? So let me know down below. But staying on that topic, right? We're switching over to insidergaming.com, and here we are. We have a very, very popular brand in the gaming world, right? We have Razer, which is the latest one to come out and pause its sales in the US over tariffs, okay? So Razer has quietly started to pause the sales of some of its products to the US over tariffs. First reported by The Verge, Razer has stopped the pre-orders and purchase of its new Blade 16 laptop on its US site. According to the Internet Archive, the laptop was available on April 1st, but was removed the next day after Trump announced the new tariffs. The Verge contacted Razer's public relations manager, Andy Johnston, for comment on the removal, to which he replied, okay, we do not have a comment at this stage regarding tariffs. And that was it. The direct link to the Blade 16 configurator now takes you to a 404 error page on the US site, while other regions pages are still operational. Razer has several key patterns and partners, and manufacturing facilities all over the world, like most technology giants. But primarily, such facilities are based in China, Taiwan, and Vietnam, who have all been impacted by Trump's new tariffs. Razer isn't the only tech giant to pause pre-order sales of its products in the USA. Either as last week, Nintendo also it would be pausing pre-orders for the Nintendo Switch 2 in the US, but still maintaining its June release date. So, according to sources, Nintendo has already has a decent stock supply of Nintendo Switch 2 consoles in the US, but tariffs rise and uncertainty for their next batches of shipments means that the price hike is almost certainly going to happen. At the time of writing, the Nintendo Switch 2 is currently priced at $449.99. So there it is right there, right? So this is just the latest company being Razer, to put a pause on all their sales. Well, according to this article, it's the Blade 16 laptop in the US, right? So you can no longer get that if you were in the market for it. So they put a pause on that. And like they said, it takes you to, if you click it, it now takes you to an error 404 page, meaning it's not working. So that's only here in the US, right? So um this is just another company to add on to the list. Who knows what is gonna happen in the next coming days, in the next coming weeks, right? Are these uh companies are just gonna start coming out one by one saying, okay, now is our turn. We're gonna pause. We're pausing, right? So uh we will have to wait and see to see what happens. But hopefully everything gets, you know, they figure everything out, and they lay all this to rest, and we could come back and continue enjoying what we love here in the technology slash video game industry. Hopefully they figure everything out and get back on track, right? So that's all we could hope for, and let's see what happens. It is what it is, man. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about this one right here down below, and we're gonna move to the last topic of this video. And you know it kind of ties up with the video I recently uploaded, right? So let's stay right here on Insider Gaming. And here it is, people. Here it is. The latest rumors that we heard in the last video was that Titanfall 3 was pretty much done, right? Complete. So this is an update, right? The latest Titanfall 3 rumors is not real, according to your boy, none other than Mr. Jeff Grubb. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. So don't get your hopes up for Titanfall 3 just yet, after a leak came out suggesting that Titanfall 3 is almost complete, along with a number of planned features. One prominent journalist has publicly reported that none of the leaked information is accurate. My goodness, what is going on here? In the latest episode of Game Breaking News, Jeff Grubb shot down the claims by Apex Legends leaker Osvaldator. So Grubb says, quote, "This isn't real," Grubb said. "I'm sorry, it's not real." Grubb then went on to talk about Respawn having a small team that is probably messing around with games that have Titans in them. So he says, does Titanfall 1 director Steve Fukuda have something like a prototype that has Titans in it? I would guess so, Grubb added. I don't know for sure, but I will certainly assume that is a safe thing to think. Okay, sorry about that. So now, is that going to get announced in 2025 and released in 2026? To that he says, no way. Okay. He then touched on the fact that EA has been on a trend of canceling various games at Respawn. Those cancellations include Titanfall Legends, which was a previous version of Titanfall 3. So here he says, do not expect an Unreal Engine 5, a single-player campaign Titanfall 3 with a multiplayer suite, Grubb said, while saying he hated being the one to rain on the parade. I'm not sure where this is coming from. Don't get your hopes up for the Titanfall anytime soon. So, and close quote. And that's what Mr. Jeff Grubb had to say. Listen, man, this is gonna get interesting. I gotta tell you, this is over on Twitter right now. There was somebody that posted, that as soon as this leak came out, and then Jeff Grubb came out with this news right here. So that person is now going back to Osvaldator to ask him what on his thoughts on what Jeff Grubb has to say, right? So, let's get prepared for this because this is looking like it's gonna be a little Twitter X, little back and forth going on, right? Because I'm pretty sure now that leaker Osvaldo, his rep is on the line. I'm sure he's not gonna like hearing Jeff Grubb basically shooting down what seems to be a real exclusive, as to it pertains to, the highly anticipated uh Titans 3, right? So he's not gonna like that. So I can't wait to hear what he has to say in response to Mr. Jeff Grubb, right? Let's see what happens. Let's see what comes out of this. Hopefully we get some nice friendly back and forth going on, and let's see who's actually saying the truth and who's not, right? But y'all let me know how y'all feel about that one. That's all I had for this video right here. So once again, I will be leaving these articles in the description below. Thank y'all so much, man, for being here once again. Thank you for everybody who's supporting me, rocking with me, all the members. Thank y'all so much, man. It means a lot. All your comments down below, all the likes. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Let's keep going. Let's keep grinding. And with that being said, it is your boy, the gifted one here, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. I'm gone.